Hello, good morning. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things you should be thinking about if you find yourself in a situation where you can incorporate your business or you can run it as a sole prop, right? Actually, this particular topic was inspired by a friend of mine who I played football with at U of A. Probably last time I had seen him was 2014, and he reached out to me recently because he had graduated. He's a chiropractor, doctor of chiropractic. So that was kind of cool. I was very happy for him. And he had these questions, right? He'd done the job, and he was in a situation where he can, incorporate and earn income through a corporation, or you can just earn it personally, right? So he had a lot of good questions. So this story was this idea was inspired from that a friend of mine. Now I'm going to focus on kind of three distinctions between the two. I don't like to use pros and cons because it's not really a pros and cons kind of concept. It's really a situation of it's what works best for you. My favorite answer in tax and accounting is that it depends, and it always really does depend on your particular situation. In my friend's example that I met over the weekend, the facts led us to decide that he should incorporate, right? Because it made sense for him for many different reasons, right? But that may not be for you, right? It may be a situation where it doesn't make sense for you to incorporate, right? Now, right off the bat, the one big difference is cost, meaning, right? It costs money to incorporate a business right off the start. If you want to do it properly, which I would advise, is to go through a lawyer, right? So they would explain to you exactly what kind of corporation you're looking at and what you should do, right? And when you incorporate it, now every year you not only have to file one tax return, you have to file two, because you have to file one for your corporation and you have to file one personally, right? So as you can see, the cost difference there, it's different, right? To file a corporate tax return, it'll probably cost you about 2 to 3 times the amount to file a personal tax return. So that's one distinction, is the cost to maintain a corporation. It's costly, right? The other distinction is in Canada, if you're incorporated, the taxes are in your favor, meaning you pay less taxes in that corporation. It's just the way it is. If you earn anything under $500,000, the tax rate you're looking at is between 11 and 15%, depending on the province you're in, right? Out here in the West Coast, BC and Alberta, we're probably looking at that 11 to 12% mark. Versus if you had earned that money personally, that $500,000, you are in the highest tax rate. You're looking at 45 to 47% tax, the marginal tax rate. So you can see there's a big distinction there. Remember, that money you earn in a corporation, that's the corporation's. You eventually have to pay yourself personally, right? So you will get taxed, but you can decide how much you want to pay yourself out. So you're in the lowest, in a lower marginal rate as opposed to that 47. So a corporation does give you that advantage, right? And the other thing, I think that the most common one people think about incorporating is to limit your exposure to risk, meaning, getting sued and things like that. That is true in certain corporations, but, not in a professional corporation like lawyers, doctors. I'm thinking of chiropractor probably. That protection is not there, right? Because, can you just imagine a doctor, who incorporates and then they have the mentality that, I can do whatever to my patients, and when they sue me, it's just capped to my corporation, right? If you're professional, that's out of the window, right? You are liable as if you would have been if you were an individual, right? But in all other corporations, they do have that advantage in the sense that your liabilities are just capped to the corporation, right? It doesn't follow you as the individual owner of that corporation, right? So that's kind of the three distinctions you should be thinking about. And again, your situation it might be different, so I would consult the professionals in your life, the lawyers, the accountants, and see what works best for you, right? Now I'm going to run through a quick example. So let's say you are this person, you've earned $100,000, right? I don't know what you're doing with your $100,000 right off the jump after graduating, but that's very, very good. If you earn that through a corporation, you pay 15%. So you're left with $85,000 in that corporation to invest in a business, pay yourself a bit and that, right? If you had earned that money personally, you're looking at about 36%, right? So at that point, you're only left with about $64,000 to live off and invest in things like that. So you can see there's a big difference there, right? But also remember, like I said at the beginning, there are costs to run a corporation, right? You have to file the corporate taxes every year, and plus you have to file your personal taxes every year, and so there are those costs that come with that, right? But again, if you are not a professional corporation, remember the corporation does offer you that risk, that cap and risk, meaning your risk exposure is limited. So those are the things you should be thinking about if you find yourself in a situation where you have to decide between the two. And as always, your situation is going to be different. So do a quick Google search, educate yourself a bit, and then go ask professionals in your life, and they should be able to direct you in the proper direction, given you facts. And if you have any questions, I'm always open here. I can answer your questions. Okay, thank you guys very much, and have a good day.